Hello, and welcome to By the Fifth Podcast. It's your boy, Roger Trent. Of course, you know you can call me Tico. What's up? What's up, everybody? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day and morning, evening, whenever you're listening to this. I hope things are going well. Man, listen, I came across a story. Someone called and told me the story, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So today, we're going to talk about, I'm just going to give you 3 words. Fire, tub, puppies. I'm going to say it again just in case you missed it. Fire, tub, puppies. All right. So we know this crazy world of property management can be a little wild. You already know that. So the puppies, the tub, the fire, all that stuff is a true story. Okay. Now, how it all started, I'm going to go ahead and imagine how that started because I've seen this story 100 times and I usually understand how it gets to that point. Okay. So let's just imagine with me. Okay. Let's just go back and imagine what's happening in this story. There's a family meeting. The family comes in and everybody's got this look on their face like, why are we here? Some of them know why we are here and are obviously aggravated and upset. And so the family comes in and mother starts off.
I'm so glad that you all decided to come today and be with us so that we can have the discussion that we need to have. Now, I understand all of you are busy and have things going on that would prohibit you from...
Dear, please, get to the point. We don't have all day.
Can you tell me why I'm here? Can you just tell me why I'm here?
Listen, please. I have you here because we need to have a discussion.
Well, what's the discussion? Come on, I ain't got time. I ain't got all day. I ain't got all day for this. I ain't got all day for this.
Well, I'll come with it. Here's the problem. I'm missing another watch. This is the 3rd watch that I have missed.
What? Misplaced? That's what you want to say? Misplaced? That you misplaced?
That's not what I was going to say. That I am missing. And I think we have a good idea what happened to it.
Well, hold on. Tell me you ain't trying to accuse me.
Dear, we're not trying to accuse you of anything. We're simply saying...
I know what y'all trying to do. Listen, y'all not finna do that to me.
Molly, calm down, sweetheart.
What your mother is trying to say is, you, my dear, are going to have to go to rehab.
I ain't going to no rehab. I don't care what you say. I ain't going to no rehab.
Darling, listen to me. You are going to have to go to rehab or you're going to have to get out of my house. Either way it goes, you're not staying here.
Now, not so fast, sweetheart. Let's just at least hear her out.
I don't have to hear her out, okay? She's getting out of my house today.
I ain't trying to stay anyway. I can't stand none of y'all. Make me sick. Go talk about me taking your watch. Don't nobody want your watch. Don't want your nasty old watch.
Listen, you are leaving today. Either way it goes, you are getting your stuff and you are leaving.
Listen. Okay, I tell you what. You don't have to go to rehab, but perhaps we can help you get an apartment.
Yeah, now, I mean, y'all, if y'all gonna help me, that's fine, because I'm sick of being in here. I'm happy to get my own apartment.
So, How is she going to get an apartment? She cannot get an apartment. She has no credit. She has nothing.
Well, maybe you can co-sign for her. I mean, you got your name and everything else. God forbid we get a divorce.
What was that you said, honey?
I said nothing. I live to hear you in the chorus. The church chorus. You do such a fine job. Such a fine job.
So they have this discussion, right? And it all boils down to Molly is going to move into her own apartment, right? Dad done got his watch stolen several times. He's sick of this. Molly obviously has a problem with meth. Or let's just say a problem with her methology. All right? She has a problem. Now, meanwhile, why this was all going on at the house, this meeting that was going on simultaneously at the office, this was going on. Okay, so listen, basically, our numbers are down. We're at 70% occupied. All right, now someone's going to have to lease an apartment, or I'm telling you now, somebody's losing their job.
I mean, dang though. I mean, like, we've been leasing, like, we've been trying to lease, but I mean, these apartments, man, they need some work. The place next door is cheaper than us, and they got brand new floors, brand new appliances.
Listen. It's not my problem. It's not my freaking problem. You need to find the benefits that we have, that we provide, and do a better job selling. That's what it is. It's not the neighbors, it's you. You need to sell better. I've looked at your guest cards. How many times have you followed up? 0. 0 times have you followed up. Let me just tell you that now. Your guest cards are all over the place. Okay?
Well, shoot. I'm out start looking for another job because I don't know what y'all expect me to do. I mean, can we run a special?
That was my next thing. Okay? We are going to run a special. All right? Our special is the first 5 months free.
5 months?
Yes, 5 months free. All right? So if you can make that happen, and we're going to up your commission by an extra 50 cents.
50 cents? What the heck are you talking? That's an extra 50 cents. You can do better than that, I'm sure.
If you do better at your guest cards, maybe I'll up that by $1.
Oh.
Okay, so that's happening simultaneously, right? So the apartments are bringing down their standards a little bit because they need leases, right? They're running special. They're also going to overlook some things that they normally wouldn't overlook on the credit or any of those reports. They're going to overlook it a bit just to make sure they get it passed so they can get these apartments leased, because the pressure is on. The owners are having a fit. They didn't have meetings and got all kind of emails that went by what's going on. Everybody is panicking. So guess what? This all works out for Molly Meth, right? She's able to lease her apartment with no problems. Got 5 months free rent. This podcast is being brought to you by Apartment Community Functions. If you need an event, let us know. We can handle it. After all, we evented it. Check us out on apartmentcommunityfunctions.com. All right. So Molly moves in. Molly moves into the apartment, and Molly has a problem. She loves her methology. She loves her methology. I mean, she could be over at the grocery store getting food, and they got samples out. Donuts. She walks by, and they're like, "Hello, welcome. Today we have some samples out, and these are donuts made with goat's milk. Also, they're gluten-free, and they have powdered sugar freshly made in Tennessee." And she'll be like,
Is there meth in it?
That's how much she loves methology, right? So, now understand this. Do you realize that, as far as what I understand, if there is a recovering addict, they are able to get a service animal to help them through that, right? So Molly Meth goes ahead and grabs her or gets her a service pal to help her get through her issues. The service pet is at home. It's a female. And the female service pet has puppies. And Molly Meth gets so excited that these puppies are happening, she wants to celebrate, So Molly Meth goes out in the neighborhood, and she knows where to knock. She knows the doors to knock on. So she's knocking on doors, and meanwhile, and let me tell you, Molly's bad for business for several reasons. She's really bad for business. But what we really feel bad for is that leasing guy out there about to lose his job, trying to show an apartment, and he's out there.
So this apartment has spacious closets. This apartment has, oh my gosh, wait till you see the size of this kitchen. This kitchen is just absolutely to die for. It has granite. It has granite everywhere. Well, it's not real granite, but it looks a lot like granite.
And he's just showing this stuff, but while he's trying to get into the door of the apartment, behind him is Molly Meth. She's back there, and the guy who's looking at the apartment turns to the leasing agent and says, "Are these apartments safe?" Now, that's a question leasing people hate to hear. You know why? Because you're not supposed to answer that question. You know why? Because the apartments can be held liable if you say they were safe and then that person has something happen to them, harmful. That's a liability. So they can't say these apartments are safe. So what we like to say in the industry are things like this.
Well, crime can happen anywhere.
And the very smart person looking for an apartment says, "But do they happen here?"
Well, crime doesn't have an address.
Right? And they can go all day on this. Meanwhile, behind them, Molly Meth just bought all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So now she's feeling pretty good. The leasing agent is not, by the way. He's not feeling good at all. He's about to lose his job because the guy he was showing the apartment to, he learned he didn't have to say anything. Everything he watched told him, "I'm getting the heck out of here," and he's gone. So Molly Meth goes up into her apartment, and she decides to make something of herself. So she gets all the cooking products together, and she's in there like a little scientist.
A little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and ooh, they put some of this in it, and some of that, and that.
And she's just going through it. She's making it happen, Captain. And all of a sudden, this thing explodes. So she grabs the puppies and throws them all in the tub, right? Because the service pet had puppies. She throws all the puppies in the tub, and she jumps out the window while the apartment is on fire. And Molly Meth is down. All right? So the fire department comes and puts out the fire and saves the puppies, but there's no Molly Meth. And the leasing agent and the property manager is wondering, how did this happen on our property? Well, if you follow back the path that I just told you, a lot of that stuff is probably what happened. All right? Molly Meth got put into this apartment. The apartment community lowered their standards. They did whatever they had to do to get somebody in there. And this is your result, right? So I think that we have to be very careful about, making sure we go through the proper procedures to make sure that we are getting people into our community that are not going to set it on fire, that are not going to make meth, that are not going to do damaging things to the property. And you don't know this. You can't look at a person and tell most of the time. You can't. So I don't want you to profile. Okay, we're not talking about profiling people. All right, let me just say that again. We're not talking about profiling. But what we are talking about doing is due diligence, going through things, making sure, checking credit, checking residential history. How did that go? What happened with that? Background checks, all of the above, all of these things need to be checked. And also, if we see Molly, meth behind us doing some shady stuff, we might need to find a way to follow up on that. Don't just turn the blind eye to it and say, man, I got to find me a new job because this place is... No, you need to do a little investigation and make sure that there's nothing that's going down on your property that can cost your property a lot of money or a lot of unwanted attention. That's the word I'm looking for. Unwanted attention. You don't want any of that unwanted attention, right? So you just want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence. Because, true story, Molly, meth, caught the whole place on fire, had puppies in the tub. She jumped out the window and she was gone. And this type of stuff happens every day. I just want to remind you to go through the proper protocols. Listen, if you train people properly, if you do your resident, make your phone calls, when you're checking to see, how they were as a resident, make those calls, ask those questions, be invested in this thing, right? Don't just slide somebody by because your occupancy's low. Because guess what? It's going to get low again very quickly. And you're going to end up deterring other people who are going to come in and pay their rent and be good neighbors and all that great stuff. You're going to deter them from wanting to come to the neighborhood, right? So you're going to stop yourself from getting other leases just to try to get this lease. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So we want to make sure that we are not rushing things through so that we can meet our quota. All right. Well, hopefully there's no Molly, meth living in your apartment. And if there is, we'll be praying for you. All right. So take care. God bless. Hey, and don't forget, like the video. Tell your friends about it. And on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave us a review. Okay? Do that for me, please. Will you do that? All right. Hey, have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye-bye. The name is Trent. Roger Trent, but you can call me Tico. What's up?